I grew up in Canada, here in British Columbia. I moved to the United States a number of years ago, and I worked for the Monterey Bay Aquarium, where we had the Seafood Watch program and Cooking for Solutions, and I really became involved with the development of that program. And that's when I met Rob Clark, when he came down for Cooking for Solutions, and he invited me to come up and spend some time and join in, so I was thrilled to be invited.
Now, yesterday you went on a shellfish tour. Tell us about that.
Well, we got some liquid sunshine, which is good because it's British Columbia. It was really interesting to understand the operation, and it's great to see that it's a viable industry and how it's growing. You know, shellfish is really probably one of our best bets in terms of sustainable seafood and being able to sell mass quantities of seafood and keep the population nourished. So to understand how the operations go, we stopped at a scallop farm, and the scallops were beautiful. We cut one, shucked one, cut it open and ate it right on the dock. Probably the best scallop I've ever eaten. We went over and we checked out, we saw several different styles of farming of oysters, both the water, in the water, and then where they seed the beach, which was interesting for me because I hadn't really had that understanding. And then also we saw a mussel farm, which was quite, to understand all the different processes, how they go through that was fantastic.
It's got a wing on each side, as you can see, and as they've loaded it on the tube, they push that wing down on the inside. So what we got is a massive surface area here. We had a little weight on the bottom of the slot. Just feed it in. Not exactly high tech.
Shellfish has been awesome, the view's been awesome, just a great time so far.
And this is the first year that we've had them that they all look the same. So I was actually curious whether chefs, would that bother you if the clams all had the same pattern? Because normally when they come, they're a myriad of colors.
For me, what I do is I do most of the grow out in deep water. So where the oysters can feed all the time and get a really nice shape, because they're more single that way. And then once they get to be a good size, maybe about this size and it's slightly smaller, then I just spread them on the beach where they can really start building up their shell a little harder, and the meat really picks up, or the oyster picks up really the flavors of the beach.
Oh, the lunch. You should have seen this pasta, and it was full of like fresh scallops and mussels and clams, and the cream that was on dessert just came from a farm, and it just goes to show that you can have a complete, nutritious, balanced meal from a local area. We don't have to fly things in from the four corners of the earth. So,
part of the perceived problem with sustainability is that it can cost more. And a lot of people say, hey, I can't afford to buy fresh spot prawns or frozen spot prawns, or I can't afford to buy those oysters because it's just not in my budget.
I'm not a person that agrees with that. I think that sustainability is a matter of choices. If you're purchasing local foods in season when they're abundant, they're going to be cheaper. If you adjust your portions, you know, our portion sizes on our plates have gotten so large, they pretty much doubled in size since the 50s, and most of that food is going in the garbage. You know, if we just cut back our portions to appropriate sizes, just a matter that what we would save in the waste would be enough to feed again. And so I don't think it's more expensive. And sustainability is not just about the sustainability of the earth or sustainability of our body, but it's also the sustainability of our community. if we as chefs are sourcing our ingredients from the local community, spending that money and keeping our money in the community, then the community is much healthier. And if other chefs say, hey, you're using that product, where did you get that from? Oh, I got it from this guy down the road. Then next thing you know, he's got 5 chefs buying from him, and he has a viable industry, and his price comes down and it becomes more affordable. So I think we just have to put a little bit of thought into it.